I'm Michael from the Secret Fire podcast, and today is my birthday. And one of the things that I love to do on my birthday is play some LOTRO. I shouldn't say play. I prefer to just go into Lord of the Rings online and wander around and enjoy virtual Middle Earth. And so that's what I'm going to do. And it happens to be fall. That's my very favorite season of the year. And so I grabbed myself a nice apple cider, and we're going to jump into Lord of the Rings online here. A couple of announcements, if I remember what I wanted to announce. Secret Fire podcast. We haven't been in the studio. We haven't released a new episode of the podcast here in about a month. And life just keeps throwing several of us on the team curveballs. And we're just trying to overcome those. And hopefully we will be back in the studio. If not this weekend, the following weekend. I'm hoping to do the next episode this weekend. We have completed our journey through the mines of Moria. Gandalf has sacrificed himself on the bridge of Khazad-dûm in order to get the Fellowship safely to the doors of Moria. And that would be the Eastern Gates, right? If I'm thinking of that correctly. And now we are going to make our way to Lothlorien. And there's some great stuff in this next chapter that we're going to go through. In the meantime, a couple of weeks ago, I released a video on our YouTube channel, and you'll just have to go to YouTube and search for Secret Fire Podcast in order to find that channel. I released the first in a series of videos discussing J.R.R. Tolkien, the man, and we are going to go through many of his letters in order to learn more about the creator of Middle-earth, of the legendarium, of Ea, Arda, Middle-earth. Because the more that we learn about the professor, the more we learn about Middle-earth. And that first episode was talking about, I believe it was letter number 213, where he described himself as a hobbit. If you haven't watched that video, get over to YouTube, again, and search for Secret Fire Podcast. And subscribe to our channel, click the bell icon underneath one of the videos, and you'll be notified every time we release a new video. I'm working on the second one in that series, and we're going to continue with that thought of J.R.R. Tolkien considering himself a hobbit. Well, what does that mean? And how does that affect his writings, his legendarium? What was the other thing that I was going to announce? For our Patreon supporters, our patrons over at patreon.com/GCTN is our Patreon page. Patreon.com/GCTN. Here, I'll pull this up on the screen. And I just released a video for our patrons last week or so. And it was really going to be the first of many, where I was asking what patrons want to see in those videos, and I've already received some feedback, and so look for a new one of those coming up soon. Those are behind-the-scenes looks. It's going to be really like a vlog, so instead of scripted or prepared, outlined videos and podcasts, I'm going to bring you into the studio. I'm going to bring you into my life. I'm going to discuss personal matters, and that's why we're going to keep that for patrons only. Let me go ahead and get back here to my LOTRO screen, and without further ado, let's go ahead and enter the wonderful world of Lord of the Rings Online. I love this game. There are so many Easter eggs in this game, and so many things drawing from drafts and concepts that Tolkien had that didn't make it into the books. Really neat things. But one of the things, I get to be a hobbit. You can see my character there. That is Todbo, and he is a hobbit. Like Professor Tolkien, I myself am a hobbit. And I don't know what it is. There's just something that moves me about autumn, and it makes me think of the Shire. It makes me think of hobbits and simple country folk. I'm a simple country folk. We're going to start off at my house, my personal house. So we'll go ahead and click enter. And if you are a LOTRO aficionado, if you play LOTRO, all of this stuff is, you already know all of this. I'm really doing this video just because I want to spend some time here, maybe an hour or so, in virtual Middle-earth. And for those of you out there that don't play the game, maybe I'll be able to entice you to play it. Just waiting for it to load here. It's going to have to load my house, and I have all kinds of decorations. That's the neat thing about having a personal house, is that you get to decorate it. My house is in the Shire Homestead, so this is a Hobbit home. Here we are. I want to show you around my house a little bit. My music that's playing. If you are watching on Twitch, let me open up my daily birthday present, because Hobbits give presents on their birthday, right? We know that. And so every day, practically everybody gets a present. What am I getting today? Dale Men's Crams, and I don't even need those. I will end up getting rid of those. But I have a message here. I have new mail, and I have a feeling that they're going to tell me that I need to pay some upkeep on my house. Let's go outside to the mailbox. And then we'll go back in my house so I can show you around. But I have OCD, so if I see that I have mail, I have to go and check it out right away. There we are out in the front yard, the view of my front yard. Oh, goodness. Okay, let me just get this mail real quick. And it is upkeep required. Open that up. Writing to inform you that your last upkeep credit has been consumed. Okay. So I need to go ahead and I'll delete that. And while I'm thinking of it right now, let me go ahead and pay my upkeep. House here. And so let's pay some maintenance on here, and I'm going to bump it up till the beginning of the year. And I'll just go ahead and pay that. It's going to cost me 1 gold coin and 980 silver coins. So that's practically 2 gold coins, but that will get me rent until October 1st. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and pay up my kinship house to January 5th. That's going to cost 3.5 gold coins. There we go. So that's taken care of. I'll show you our kinship house here in just a moment as well. Outside here, what time of the day is it? It is afternoon. So let's go down here to my front path and get a look-see at Todd Bow's personal home. Go up here. I have my decorative oven. That's pretty neat, huh? I would love to have one of these in my backyard. There's a YouTube channel that I watch called Townsend, and this guy who does the channel, he is a early American reenactor. So he has all the clothing, he has all the cookware, he has everything that you need to live in the 18th century. 17th, 18th, and 19th century. And he did a video on how to build an earthen oven, whatever they're called. Looked a little too complicated for me. Here's my produce stall. I love having this out here in the front yard. I have one of my guards, Spalvey. He's a property guard. He just hangs out here, protects the property while I'm gone. Here's my bonfire. It's wonderful at nighttime. Here's my other property guard, a Hobbit lady, Marigold. She's awesome. My apple tree, great for fall, apple cider. All right, let's go back in, show you around. Again, I don't play LOTRO so much as I wander around and just immerse myself. So here's my my great room. I have one fireplace over here, another fireplace in the back corner over there. That's just this room. Here's some of the items that I've collected. I have my my brown bear with pie and mug. I have my table here that has, this is my fall table, sausage and pretzels on it. Got that at the Fall Festival years ago. My windmill there. Stein with a Craven perched on top. Here's an in-league decorative keg. Everybody needs a keg in their great room, huh? Here's my table, my breakfast table, laden with bread and cheese and drink and silverware. Oh, here's another Stein, my glorious beer mug trophy. My little mushroom garden here. Hobbits love their mushrooms. Wonderful things. My moose head with a pipe. Big pile of elvish books on this table right here by my chair. I can light this fire. Takes a while. There we go. It's a snow globe, a Hobbit snow globe. Can you see that? A Hobbit house in there. Much like they would have in Crick Hollow, the houses instead of the Hobbit holes. It's a picture of Weathertop. Nice painting. Okay, and then we'll go into my study. I have another table, because hobbits like to eat, right? We all know that. So here's a festive table. Breads and cheese and a pig, right? Over here's my scribe's book stand. Here's my table where I work. Papers and books strewn about. Here is Bilbo's writing table. Look at there. This looks like, right here, looks like the Red Book of Westmarch. I earned that in a quest. Got some logs for the fireplace, another fireplace, of course. Maps hanging about. Let's go into my bedroom. Oh, look at my bed. It's a bed from Rohan. Look on the headboard. The 3 horse heads. Fantastic stuff. My map of Frost Bluff for the Winter Festival, the Yule Festival. There's a video of that on our YouTube channel somewhere, so go to YouTube and search for Secret Fire Podcast. The Yule Festival and the Fall Festival, those are my favorites. Here's a winter worm trophy. I slew that and then went to a taxidermist and had it stuffed. And a fireplace in my bedroom, of course. Get that lit. Isn't that nice? Here's a treasure chest I earned. I figure that's one of the small chests that Bilbo brought back from Erebor. What do you think? Needed to switch cameras there, sorry. Then this is my storage for my house. For you that don't play, you can keep items in this chest. I have a lot of items, a lot of clothing, and housing items. I have other things that I could decorate with, but I ran out of space, and so I switched things around quite often. I have a Shire oak tree, which I love. I have a large tent, mushroom growing tent. I love my mushroom growing tent, but enough of that. All right, so this is Todbo's home, my personal home. Now, next door is our kinship home. I have a kinship that's just with my kids, so it truly is a kinship. Let me, I'll go ahead and walk. I was going to summons a horse, but all I have to do is go over here. This is a huge yard. Oh, there was something here. It looks like Micah removed it for some reason. I should put something there. Going to our house, we have this great picnic table right here. Man, this is fantastic. How would you like to enjoy this? Berries and meats and, wow, ale and flagons of something, right? Bread, pie, apples. Oh, I love it. Continue over here. There is our kinship house. It is huge. So we have this large vegetable garden. Got a tub filled with apples. This is Bingo's tub of apples. Bingo is a character, and he is part of a whole line of quests. You just follow him on some adventures. He wants to be like Bilbo, and it's really awesome because Bingo was originally the protagonist of the Hobbit sequel, The Lord of the Rings, or as it was being called at the time of writing, The New Hobbit. And Bingo, again, was the protagonist, and it was because of feedback and input from C.S. Lewis that Tolkien made some changes. And in those changes, he went ahead and changed the protagonist from Bingo to Frodo. Probably because he was doing a lot of work with genealogies, right? And seeing who begat who. And it just worked out better that Frodo was the heir of Bilbo, the cousin. Of course, Bilbo called him his nephew. But Bilbo was not his uncle. Bilbo was his cousin, technically speaking. Now, this is a big house, and there's a lot of furniture in here, a lot of decoration, and so it takes a minute to load. This room does not look like this normally. Oh, there's the wooden floor. There's the wallpaper. Okay, so this is just a small entryway. You would call this a foyer or just an entry hall. I love this decoration, this cloak rack. It's just simple little things like this that really, well, it excites me. I love it. There's a map of Eriador. This room is real simple. This is just your entryway. We would normally have the fireplace going so that you could come in and warm up and take off your cloak, and maybe, during winter time or what have you, you can shake the snow from your boots. And then you come into the great room in here, and this truly is a great room. Look at how big this is. Of our kinship, which again is me and my children, I'm the only one, I believe I'm the only one that's a Hobbit. And there are homesteads, there are places throughout LOTRO where you can buy homes and upkeep your homes. But I really wanted to live in the Shire, and so this is the reason why we're here. I think they're the most beautiful houses, but then again, I'm biased, aren't I? Because I am a Hobbit. I have this great, in this corner over here, lots of fireplaces, big old writing table, fantastic stuff. We have another one of these breakfast tables here. Oh, here's a Rohirrim bookcase. Or Rohirric, I guess I technically should say, with those same three horse heads up at the top. That's beautiful furniture. That's beautiful design by the developers. Let's go to this little room over here, and this has our kinship treasure chest where we can keep things for the kinship. But here we have a pile of gold coins just piled on the floor. Bilbo's reading table, short academic table. We can light all these candles that are in the corner. It takes a while to come in here and light up the whole place. And then we come over here. Like I said, this is a really big house, and here's this hallway going down here. Great wallpaper. There's a bedroom down here. So we have a bed, a fireplace, a sitting chair. Go back up, and then my favorite place, I don't know why, but I like to be the furthest away from the front door, and I just know from the outside that we are really back in the hill in this room. We consider this to be our meeting room. And of course, a fireplace, and got a decorative keg here. We have a sinister keg. I can drink from this keg. This will take me to Moria, and perhaps I'll do that in a little bit here. But I want to go to Mickle Delving. So this is our kinship home. Everybody in our kinship has access to this home, has access to the storage chest. I want to show you around our Shire Homestead neighborhood here. What time is it now? Oh, it's afternoon. Let's see what the weather is like. Some dark clouds about. Okay. What horse does Todbo want to ride? Farmer's Feast steed. Picnic steed. I like that picnic steed. There's the farmer's second favorite steed. Steed of the Yield. That matches my clothing. All right, let's cut across the yard here, back into my yard, and then we're going to make our way to the center of the Shire Homesteads. So again, this is my house here, and what I am right next to, well, let me take you up here. I am right. Can you hear it coming? Look at this. Waterfall. It goes down into the river. Here's some apple trees, and let's take you over here. I just love this. I just love to come and walk around and hang out. Here's our pathway. See the river down there. That waterfall. Lots of houses here as well. Here's another house I'm looking at. You may not see in the background there. Going to make our way. Here's the personal party tree. This is not Bilbo's party tree. This is not Hobbiton's party tree. This is our party tree for the Shire Homesteads. There's some broken kegs here. Little platform. Tents set up. Just fantastic stuff. Carts around. Now in here, there's plenty of things in here, but I could go in there and I have a personal vault. So what I can't fit into my chest inside my home, I can fit into the vault over here. And I exchange things and place them back and rearrange things. Wardrobe mainly. Oh, okay, so now it's fall. I'm going to make sure that my fall clothing is in my home. I can move my spring and summer clothing into my vault in here. In fact, let's go ahead and go in. I'll just show you for you folks that don't play. I can buy from this gentleman right here. I can go and buy.
What can I do for you this fine day?
Well, thank you very much. I can buy some housing furnishings. Most of these things I have. They're lower level things, and so. But I can also sell him things if I want to. Then I'll go in here, and this lady handles my vault, so I can open up my vault.
My Is there vault, something I can do for you?
Well, we just wanted to look in the vault here. I have 106 items of 120 available slots. Lots of things, and I break them up into different sections here. Housing, general clothing, winter clothing. Looking forward to my winter clothing. Miscellaneous things. I have fireworks in here, and I have just all kinds of things. I have a whole lot of beer and some some tobacco in here, and the beer I use for certain quests at the festivals. This guy's selling provisions and supplies.
Good day.
Oh,
How may I help you?
Well, I was just wanting to show the viewers here what you do. What does this lady do? Escrow broker. Something about housing or whatever. I don't deal with that. There's another guy in here. He's a healer, so he's selling medicines and things that you need in order to keep yourself healthy. Let's go on out. Now, I want to go into Mickle Delving. So let me show you the map here. Here's the Shire homesteads. This is where we are right now. If we go out, let's go out, and here's the Shire. So the Shire homesteads are down here at the bottom left. I don't know if you can see me moving my mouse around. Due north by northwest, sorry, is Mickle Delving. So I could ride my horse there, but what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to get there real quick. I have a quick travel to Mickle Delving. So let Toddbo do his thing here. And here we are at the stable here in Mickle Delving. Going into the heart of Mickle Delving. Mickle Delving is very important because at Mickle Delving, let me go ahead and call a horse here. Let me get my picnic horse, my picnic steed. He's really a pony, though, because I'm a hobbit, right? Look at this. Oh, he's ready for a picnic. Wonderful stuff. Let's go on up here. One of the most important things in Mickle Delving is this building up here that we are making our way to. This, friends, is the Matham House. If you'll recall at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, and I'm thinking in the prologue, the Matham House is where people store things that they don't have room for in their hobbit hole or their hobbit home. Hobbits, like me, don't like to get rid of things. Okay. Now, when they do want to get rid of things, they'll generally give it away as a birthday gift. But things that they absolutely will not give away, but they don't have room in their hobbit homes and hobbit holes, they will bring to the Matham House. This is really like a museum. Let's go on in here. And this is where Bilbo had kept Sting and the Mithril corselet. It was stored here. And if you recall in the movies, the Peter Jackson film, when he left the Shire, I regret to tell you that this is the end. I put this off far too long, right? He's leaving the Shire. Well, he went from there, he either went right before his birthday party or immediately after. He went to this house, the Matham House, in order to retrieve Sting and that Mithril mail, that corselet. And so this Matham House has several rooms in it. This person right here with the star above his head, this is Bungo Puddlefoot, and he's part of the Matham Society. To talk to him requires being an ally standing with the Matham Society, which I am.
I'm pleased to be of service.
And so you can get special stuff from him. So you have to complete the quests in order to be able to talk with him. And then you can... There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can get from him. So it doesn't look like the Sting and that Mithril chainmail was stored here. There's an upstairs as well. Let's go in the upstairs. Ah, there's plenty of things up here. Maybe it was up here. Oh, look at all of this stuff. Oh, I wish it had name tags associated with it. Look at all these swords and axes, and wow, that shield, beautiful stuff. I mean, the detail. The level of detail in this game is, I love it. Yeah, I think Sting was stored up here. But Bilbo came and retrieved him before leaving the Shire. He did not plan on coming back. And those were two things that were very important to Bilbo Baggins. All right, back outside the Madam House. Let's go ahead and call my picnic steed and take another drink of apple cider. My character is a minstrel. That's why he has that lute on his back. All right, now let's go to one of the most important places, as far as I'm concerned, in all of LOTRO here, Lord of the Rings Online, and that is this public house, the Bird and Baby Inn. Of course, based on the Eagle and Child, which the Eagle and Child, where the Inklings met, the nickname for it was the Bird and Baby. You know how British folks are. They like to come up with nicknames for things. And so here we are. The Bird and Baby. You have the sign up here. Hobbits sitting around. Man, I wish that we had public houses here in America. Not sports bars, not whatever, just a real pub. Now, I live in Middle Tennessee, and the nearest major city is, somebody is in the chat room here. Let me see. Seems like you have big knowledge about Lord of the Rings. Well, I don't know about that. I do love it. What was I talking about? Okay, so the nearest major city to me here in Middle Tennessee is Murfreesboro. And that's about a 40-minute drive from me. And there is a pub there called the Green Dragon Inn. And I have not been there yet. I follow them on Facebook and look at their stuff, and I want to go so bad. And the owner is a big Lord of the Rings fan, well, a Middle-earth fan. But we're going to make our way back past the landlord here into this room. Now, I want you to notice something here. In the corner, see this little rabbit? There is a room in the Eagle and Child, nicknamed the Bird and Baby. They're over there in Oxford. There's a room called the Rabbit Room, because there's apparently, and I don't know from firsthand experience, there is a ceramic rabbit or a metal rabbit, a cast iron rabbit. There is a fixture that is a rabbit there. And this represents the room, the rabbit room, that the Inklings would meet in. Now, this wasn't for their formal meetings. You know, they spend a lot of time in meetings at in C.S. Lewis's room at Oxford, or at his house at the Kilns, or what have you. But they met often a couple of times a week. And one of the places that they would meet was the Bird and Baby. That was to let their hair down, to have a couple of pints and really just have fun. And look who we have here. We have 3 hobbits in the Bird and Baby in the Rabbit Room. And who are they? Well, this fellow right here, very animated with his pipe, is Jack Lewis Down, who is an anagram of Jack Lewis, C.S. Lewis. Here in Middle-earth, virtual Middle-earth. And in the chat room, you read all books of J.R.R. Tolkien, right? Yes, I do. Yes, I do, as much as I can. He is speaking very animatedly to Carlo Williams, who is an anagram of Charles Williams, an inkling. And back studiously here, flipping through a book, we have Owen Barfield. Who is Owen Barfield? Another very famous inkling. We have 3 of the Inklings. Remember, the Inklings were a pretty large group. There was the core group, right? But it was a much larger group than that. Christopher Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien's middle son, was an Inkling. He was an official member of the Inklings. There were many others. There was at least, off the top of my head, at least 17 others. And that gives me an opportunity also to mention this book that I just recently read. Fantastic book. If you have any interest in the Inklings, perhaps you've read other biographies on the Inklings. This book it's called Bandersnatch. C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, and the creative collaboration of the Inklings. So that's the full title. Bandersnatch, C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, and the creative collaboration of the Inklings by Diana Glyer. I cannot recommend this book any more highly. Fantastic read. And you really get to see the influence that the Inklings had on one another. And it's just fascinating. And the friendship between J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis is probably deeper than most people. You know, many people understand that they had a relationship and that they were friends. I don't know that that many of those people understand how deep that friendship was. So anyway, here's some of the Inklings. Down here is a keg room, storage room. This fella, he's, I've heard him talk before. He's a little bit besides himself. All right, let's go ahead and leave the bird and baby. I think I've talked enough about that. We're going to go out here, and we're going to go back to the stable master, and I'm going to grab a horse to Hobbiton. Mickledelving is quite a ways from Hobbiton. So here we go. Running along. I could have called one of my ponies to ride over here, but it's not very far. And Toddbo needs some exercise. We'll go back up here, pay this guy about 90 copper coins, and hitch a ride, an automatic ride to Hobbiton.
How do you do?
I'm doing fantastic and fast tunnely. Let's go to Hobbiton. Yep, 90 copper coins. And that'll do that automatically. That'll give me an opportunity for another sip of refreshing apple cider here. And for you to enjoy the scenery. What is it? Dusk? Yep. This is going to take us through Waymeet. Years ago, I was part of a group. Greetings from Germany. Well, thank you very much for watching from Germany. Man, how about Oktoberfest? Are you an Oktoberfest fan over there? We're having some local celebrations of Oktoberfest here in the States, but it's nothing like what they do there. Okay, now we're entering Tukland. Now, normally when we're doing the podcast, the Secret Fire podcast, and I have Twitch going, I cannot watch the chat room. although I have it pulled up off to the side. But as I'm just goofing around here in LOTRO, I can actually watch, and another message came in. Who's this? John Phillip. Well, John, what we do here is a podcast, Secret Fire podcast, and we're going book by book and chapter by chapter through books, Tolkien's books, and we are in Lord of the Rings right now, and we have made our way through the Mines of Moria and have just come out on the other side. And so the next episode, we will be making our way to Lothlorien. The podcast is myself, my son, Micah. He's 18. He'll be 19 later on this month. And then our co-host, Brendan, who is a theater arts major. In fact, he's an adjunct professor now and is teaching theater, and so his expertise is in story and the structure of story. And I've just been a fan. I've been a Middle Earthling, as I call myself, for over 40 years now. Today is my birthday, everybody, if you didn't catch that at the beginning of the broadcast. And I have now been a Middle Earthling for over 40 years because I first encountered Middle Earth via the Rankin Bass animated film The Hobbit, which was released in 1977. And I saw it when I was 7 and just captivated. And I've always been a big fan of, Middle Ages and knights and Renaissance and all of those things that are so vividly pictured even in a story that takes place in prehistory, right? Middle Earth and these stories, they are not part of our history. They are before. But they do mimic and they do mirror much of our own history. So here I am in Hobbiton. Let's go ahead and pull up my picnic steed, which again is a pony. How long have I been broadcasting now? Goodness. 42 minutes. Boy, we're almost going to be done with this broadcast. We're going to make our way here over Bywater Bridge. Okay, here's Sandyman's mill, and that is Ted Sandyman right there. And we're going to continue up. We are continuing up the hill, as a matter of fact. Oh, John Phillip, you're 16 years old. That's great. Thank you for watching. We won't go in that gate yet. I'm going to take you up to the next gate. And here we are, Bag End. The home that Bilbo's father built for his wife, Belladonna Took, mostly with her money, if you recall from the book. It's beautiful. They did a fantastic job. We won't go inside right now because I'm running out of time. So what I want to do instead is, this is what was taking place before Bilbo's birthday party, right? The first chapter in The Lord of the Rings, a long-expected party. One of the things that you will read there is that they cut a wider path in the side of the hill and installed a gate there, and I believe it's supposed to be white, if memory serves correctly, so that is one misstep here in Lord of the Rings Online. here's this gate, and they widened this for all of the visitors coming from all throughout the Shire to this. The glorious party tree. Sorry for jerking around there. This is the party tree. This is where Bilbo celebrated his 111st birthday. Which, incidentally, as you know, is the same day as Frodo's birthday. They share the same birthday. And that was last month. But I love coming and just hanging out here because I love hobbits. I am a hobbit. And I could come here and hang out with this group of joyful hobbits as they're dancing and drinking and feasting. And somehow I just triggered Siri. I don't understand that. But I can dance with them. Whoops. This is what I like to do in Lord of the Rings Online. I don't want to go out and grind. I want to have fun. I want to live. I want to dance next to a big rack of kegs. And we'll stop dancing. And John Philip asked if we use LOTRO as a simulation for your podcasts and some role-playing. Actually, what we do is we don't stream the game. We use the sounds. I like to have an immersive podcast. And so when you're listening to us on the show, you're hearing sounds. My son Micah is actually using, he's in LOTRO as we're doing the show. And then I have it plugged into my soundboard and we just have it mixed in. And so he's following along in Lord of the Rings Online as we are going through the story. And it just makes it, for me, you know, pop in some earbuds or your Beats or whatever, you know, and be pulled in. Stereophonic, and you have the sounds, and you can hear horses, and there's great music in this game, great mood music, ambient sounds and things. Now, here we're going to, pretty soon, is going to be time for the Fall Festival. And this door is going to change a little bit. This door goes into the cellars below Bag End. And people thought that Bilbo had tons of gold from his adventure 60 years prior, his adventure to Erebor and back. And we know that he brought back two small chests, I should say, of gold, of that gold that they found in the Trolls' caves. But they could never figure out where he kept this gold. And they thought that it was buried underneath, in these cellars and things underneath Bag End. Well, during the Fall Festival, we get to go underneath Bag End, and it's a haunted maze under there. Fantastic stuff. Well, it's a tie. The Fall Festival and the Yule Festival are my favorites. All right. Enough of Hobbiton. I could take you to the Green Dragon Inn. I could take you to the Ivy Bush Inn. We could go to Bywater and things. But I want to show you another person here that is hidden away in Lord of the Rings Online. And so we're going to take a horse ride here. Whoops, it goofed up, sorry. We're going to go over hill. We have somebody else in the chat room. Now, Russell, welcome. We're just going to do one more thing here, and then we're going to call it a day, because one of my daughters is really, I'm a Star Wars fan as well, and she has been trying to get me to watch the Clone Wars animated series for a long, long time. Here we went over hill, and so anyway, I began that series, and I'm almost done with season 1, and I'm really surprised that I like it. So again, anybody that's tuning in here just in the past few minutes, it's my birthday today, and all good hobbits for their birthdays give gifts to others. And so my gift to you today on my birthday is watching me play LOTRO. Here we go. We're going to, we're in Brockenborings, okay? And we're going to go to the stable master here, and we're going to hitch a ride.
Just a moment.
Up to Oat Barton. We're going to go past the statue of Banderbris Took. Or Bull Roarer. And thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Again, I don't know what it is. You know, we're all affected. We're all moved by different things. And it's just such a simple thing. I love fall. I love autumn. It is my favorite season. I love apples, and I love cool weather, and I love the changing of the leaves. I love all of that stuff. And for some reason, and I can't explain this, nobody can explain this, it's my favorite time to play LOTRO. Again, me being a hobbit, I want to go and experience all of these hobbity things at this time of the year. We're going to stop off at the stable master here in Oat Barton, and then I'm going to go ahead and call my horse again, and we are going to finish up this last leg of our journeys today. I had wanted to go to Moria and take you to the point of where we are on the Secret Fire podcast, but I just have been talking too much. Look at the moon. Now we're in Bull Roarer's Sward. I need to look at my map here real quick. Let's see where I am. Okay, we got a little ways to go. And it is evening, so we still have the darkest part to go. Alrighty. Whoops, don't want to fall down there. Whoops, trying to look at two things at once. Okay, here we go. We're going to go up here on the hill. I don't come here often. Right, so we went to the Bird and Baby, and we saw some very important people. Where is he? I don't, as I said, I don't come here often. And you folks that play, you know exactly who I'm looking for. Is it right there? No. No. Oh, goodness, I feel silly now. Okay, here's this stable
lovely
master.
day, isn't it?
Can take me to Barton. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Let me get off my horse because we need to be respectful here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ronald Dwall, otherwise known as J.R.R. Tolkien. We're at Glassblower's Camp here in at the very border of Evendim. We are actually in Evendim. You know, Oak Barton is the furthest north point, and then you enter into Evendim. And this is the man who created all of this. And they put him in the game, and I love that they did that. Highlighting him here. Now, Tolkien shows up in other areas of the game as well. And at the Yule Festival, one of the things that you can do in the Yule Festival is you can act at the theater there, the Frost Bluff Theater. And he's in the back. He's in one of the writing rooms or what have you. I can't remember where else he shows up. There's another time that he shows up. If you look up on the LOTRO wiki, it'll tell you. But that's him. How brilliant is that? They created this virtual Middle Earth. And of course, they put J.R.R. Tolkien in it. So the rest of the Inklings that are in the game that I'm aware of, they may have other Inklings spread throughout, but I'm not aware of them. But 3 of them are in the Bird and Baby in Mickle Delving. And then what was that? That was C.S. Lewis, Owen Barfield, and Charles Williams in the Bird and Baby, in the Rabbit Room in the Bird and Baby, just where they should be. And then here's J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't know why he's at the glass blower's camp. And what you'll see, you see this symbol above his head, this gold ring with that thing. That means that I don't have him unlocked. I haven't paid for this region, and so, but there are quests that he gives you that are they're directly from his actual life. And I think that's absolutely fascinating that they do that. Okay, one more thing here in the last couple of minutes. So everybody say goodbye to Professor Tolkien, and I'm going to take you real quick to Bree before we go ahead and quit this broadcast. Takes us just a moment here. The town of Bree. A lot of hobbits in Bree. There we go. Let's go ahead and wait for this to load. Now, do you want to see the prancing pony? Let's go up and let's go and do that. So we're going to head into town. Here's the gates. Now, of course, this is the west gate. Whoops, where'd it go? Here's the west gate. It's nighttime, and the west gate, and we're just going to head straight up. Heading east up this road. Now, I'm on the Arkenstone server. When I first started playing LOTRO, I was playing on the Landreval server, and that's a role-playing server. And it was, every time you went into the Prancing Pony here, and here it is, every time you went into the Prancing Pony, it was filled with people. Just fantastic times. I don't know what it is about the Arkenstone server, and I didn't choose this server. That was my son. He moved us all to the Arkenstone server a year or two ago. when they were making some switches and consolidating servers and whatnot. It's just not as busy here. Here we go. Barlaman Butterbur. Got a couple of dwarves here having good conversation. There's Barlaman Butterbur. I just wanted to take you in here. Oh, I went over an hour. I wanted to keep this under an hour. We're half a minute over. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this stream to a close now. It'll be archived on Twitch for a couple of weeks, and if I remember, I'll go ahead and port it over to our YouTube channel, and we'll just preserve it over there. Again, get to our YouTube channel. So just go to YouTube and search for Secret Fire Podcast, and you can see the video that I did a couple of weeks ago about the letters of J.R.R. Tolkien, a brand new series that I've started. That was the first one. We talked about letter number 213, I think it was, where Tolkien describes himself to a reader. This lady wrote him a letter, wanted to know more about the professor, wanted to know more about the author of this great book, The Lord of the Rings, and he told her about himself, and in there he said, I am a hobbit in all but size, and then goes on to compare himself to hobbits. And I'm a hobbit. Ever since first watching that Rankin Bass animated feature, The Hobbit, I knew that I was a hobbit. I'm a halfling. I love everything about the Shire and about their culture. And so get over to YouTube, subscribe to our Secret Fire Podcast channel, click the bell icon under any of the videos there, and you'll receive a notification each time that we post a new video. And I am working on the second part of that Letters of J.R.R. Tolkien series. We're going to talk about letter number 31 and continue this theme of Tolkien relating to hobbits and how that affected and influenced his work on the Legendarium. And other than that, we hope to be in the studio for the next episode of the Secret Fire Podcast, either this weekend or the next weekend, and we'll give you get you further caught up on what's been going on behind the scenes here. One last thing, if you weren't watching at the beginning of the video, if you are a patron, if you support us on patreon.com/secretfire, no, scratch that. If you support us on patreon.com/GCTN, let me go ahead and switch over to that. You will have received a video that I produced last week just for you supporters on Patreon. And I'm going to do more of those, and those are going to be vlog-style videos where I'm going to bring you in not just our podcasts and the things that I do here at GCT Network Studios, but I'm going to let you into my life more. We're going to have more personal interaction, and so I'll take questions from supporters and stuff, and then do a video on that, and it'll be more quick and dirty and shaky cam, all that kind of stuff, and just have some fun with that. So that's about it. That's all I have to share with you today. Thank you for coming and joining me here on my birthday. I appreciate that. I consider that a gift. And thank you for those of you who have been listening to the Secret Fire Podcast and sticking with us all these past episodes. Stay with us. We are not going anywhere. We've just had some rough spots here where it's been hard to get people in the studio, and we'll talk more about that on the next episode. So until then, I regret to tell you that this is the end. We'll talk to you next time, right here at, YouTube, right? That's where this is, and Twitch, twitch.tv/Secret Fire Podcast. Sorry, Twitch people, there, twitch.tv, Secret Fire Podcast. We'll talk to you later.